Hello everyone, this is Lerix here. Today we're going to talk about how to save money on the electric bill. During these tough times that we're living, it's very important to know how to save your money and try to understand where your expenses are going on your electric bill. So I'm going to show you a few tricks, and you're gonna need some tools for this to work. And I guarantee you this is gonna be very useful for you to understand what you're going to do in order to save up a lot of cash. Let's get started. On your devices, whether you're using Windows or Mac or Linux, maybe you are using any of them, you can just use these tools, either Excel, Numbers, LibreOffice. I suggested it because it's a free tool rather than these two that you either have to pay for a subscription or you need to purchase a new Apple device. This is an option. Or if you are using a Google account, you can also take advantage of Google Spreadsheets, which is a suite office that Google offers. Or if you don't have any of those things, or maybe you want to go very traditional, just grab a piece of paper, a pencil, and yeah, use math because yeah, we're gonna use some math here, but don't worry, it's very easy math. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a Google spreadsheet. I come up with this table so that you may understand what is going on over here. So first of all, before going into it, let me just explain that these electric companies, what they do is that they charge you by kilowatt hours. Well, it's a unit of measurement that this utility uses in order to charge you based of on the usage that you use on any of these devices that you have on laying around the house. So just this important detail, like 1,000 watts is equal to 1 kilowatt hour. So the closest thing to compare it to a kilowatt hour will be a microwave. Now, kind of put these into several um, of these things that I have laying around the house. Also here I have a column specifying the units, so you kind of indicate how many do you have. Like this would be your quantities base of what you have. This will be the wattage that they consume. Now, this is hypothetical because not all of this is um, exactly how much it consumes. This is like an approximate, so this is gonna give you an idea. The hours of use, well, this will indicate like how many hours you have these on during the day and night. And also the watt hours would be uh, the multiplication of units, watts, and use. That's where you get the total amount of watts used specifically of this uh, product. And also here we have the days. So these utilities, they always charge you by month, so that's 30 days. Um, and also the total watt hours will be the total of all this consumption, which will be multiplying watt hours times days, which I have it right here on this formula written. Um, the only thing that you might kind of notice is why in days I have here 12, because in this case it's a washing machine. Typically, I looked at on average, we do about 12 watches per, well, not 12, my bad, 3 watches per week. So that will be times 4 equals 12 amounts of use during the month. So I hope you're not watching a lot. Otherwise, you have to adjust this to your criteria. Um, what else? After that, well, we take all this amount and we just sum it all together. That's why I have it here like I am summing everything. And then here in the kilowatt hours, how do I convert this amount into kilowatt hours? Well, since we already mentioned that 1,000 watts is equal to 1 kilowatt hour, what I would do, what you do is that you simply uh, divide this by 1,000, and this will be the cost per kilowatt cents. Uh, Depending where you're at, it can fluctuate really. So it could be 15, but then you can change this to like 20. Um, Here it would say this would be your total cost, which would by month, which would be kilowatt hours uh, times the cost per kilowatts by cents. So that's your total. And here, total cost by year will be, um, well, the entire year, which in this case you're multiplying by 12, as you can see. And this is a hypothetical scenario here, like say, okay, like the cost is 20 cents and spending $304 a month, which is frankly quite a lot. Um, so you would have to see what from all this stuff, where can I improve? So before I do that, let me just copy this and put this in the current amount. And after I do this, okay, we have that amount. So where should I make improvements? So I would suggest first work on your lighting. Lighting is a big factor when it comes to a lot of these expenses. So let's say if you're still using incandescent light bulbs, I think it would be just a good time to switch these to LEDs. LEDs tend to consume only 10 watts. So you have them split around the living room, the kitchen, and the room. It's like, let's say, your brother's room, your son's room, um, your grandma's room. I'm not sure. Maybe you're living with your grandma. I'm not sure. Um, and so you see that right now, as I change these to 10 watts, look at the difference here. I'm saving $54 just on lighting only if I just switch all the light bulbs. So $50, it's something. $54 is something. Now, what if I want to reduce this even further? Like say, where during the day, why do I have to have them on a lot? Maybe I don't need to have them on during the day. I prefer to have it on during the night. So let's say where you live, um, the sun goes down and you only are awake maybe 5 hours and then you go to sleep. So let's just reduce that to 5 hours. So that's half. So not a huge difference, but at least it's almost getting to $60. And so the other thing I would also pay attention to would be the usage of your TV. Maybe you're watching a lot of TV, a lot of Netflix series or cable. Maybe I want to cut my usage on these. Um, and so there you go. We have 61. Maybe I'm playing way too much video games, and then I may reduce that to maybe 2 hours, maybe, so I have more spare time for myself. maybe on AC units, maybe I am using quite a lot on AC units, and I may need to reduce that amount as well. Or you can uh, buy a more efficient AC unit like an inverter that they can typically consume almost half the amount. By doing so, you can see right now I am saving $131 a month. And just by those little changes, it can improve uh, your expenses. And that way you can save up money and use this amount for anything that you want. Maybe you want to acquire the Nintendo Switch 2 in a couple of months, or you want to pay some debt, or you want to invest on it on some other things, maybe improve other things around the house. Another detail I wanted to mention was if you have no idea how to get the wattage, then you can just check on the cable blocks that some of these they might have, and somewhere around those little letters they might tell you the volts and the amps. And what you do is you multiply volts and amps, and that's where you get the wattage. I hope this was helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe, and until then, catch you next time. See ya.